Forging links.
Forging links.
Forging links, one person at a time.
All right, man, I have missed that. That's our theme song. I have absolutely missed that.
Might even give you the solo rendition of that next week. Or maybe not.
Welcome to our call tonight, guys. For those who don't know me, I am Kirsten McDonald, and this is my business partner, Paul Gunson, and we are Forging Links. And tonight, we have something really cool for you. It is our PLCU presentation. Now, we are so new to this that we won't be doing the presentation because we're still learning. We've got David Staunton here, who was the person that introduced us to it. Give us a wave, Dave.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, David.
And David will be here to answer any questions after the presentation. So I think most of you, there's a couple here that haven't seen the presentation, I think, but write down any notes. It's like anything. It's a lot to take in the first time you watch it, but I want you to ask yourself something before we start. Ask yourself why you would even be here looking at something like this. Ask yourself why. I can tell you why I am looking at things like this, and I'm not just looking at one thing. I'm looking all over the place at the moment because I've got a new career. I am now a digital entrepreneur.
Queen. Queen.
So, that's, to me, I take that very seriously now. I'm a businesswoman in the digital space because I know that working 9 to 5 isn't going to get me my dreams. And so just ask yourself why you're looking at things like this, because everybody's got a reason. And I am going to get straight into it, unless you've got something, Paul, to say before we start.
Yeah, again, just to really reiterate that, it is, for me, for you to go into this space now, or any space of entrepreneurship, you've got to have a why, and your why's got to be big. And I mean big. And when you think it's big, guess what? It needs to be bigger, because you're going to get the knocks, you're going to get the blocks, you're going to get the criticism, you're going to get the, you don't want to be doing that stuff. It's got to be big. You've got to really be big as to why you want to be here. So again, hopefully from what you see now, you'll create that big why. Why do I want to do this? My reason is I've got 5 grandkids that I want to leave a legacy for. That's my why. And for those of you who don't know, I lost my wife 2.5 years ago to COVID, lost my son 10 years ago, my son-in-law 13 years ago. So I've got a big why. Why I take the knocks, why I take the blocks, why I take the criticism. And yeah, so we're in this together. We hope you come on board. Most of you are anyway.
Yeah.
And we want to take you with us on our journey. So Great stuff.
Let's get
Away we go.
cracking. Okay, just bear with me. I'll share my screen and we'll get started. This one.
Lord DeFi in the blockchain community. Please free yourself from any distractions and ensure that you are taking notes. We say note takers are the money makers, but that's actually misleading, because the real money makers are the action takers, people that actually, take some form of action. So that being said, we are based, the Wealth Club, we are based at 1 Canada Square, which is the Canary Wharf Tower in the financial district of London. The normal disclaimers apply. This presentation does not constitute financial advice. It does not constitute trading advice. It does not constitute any form of legal advice or any type of advice whatsoever. Please feel free to take a picture of the disclaimer, and you can digest it at your leisure. This is a presentation to give you the information, and we know that information changes situations. So that being said, my name is Lord DeFi, Des DeFi, director of a private wealth club, senior finance broker, CMAP qualified financial life coach, former lecturer of financial studies for the London Institute of Banking and Finance, and a former assistant head teacher, having worked in education for over 15 years. On this platform that you are going to hear from today, PLCU, I'm a purple diamond. I'm one of the top leaders here in the UK, but that will make more sense as you get to know our setup and what it is that we are doing. So as you can see, my background is heavily in the finance industry, but also in education as well. As you can see, I used to be an assistant head teacher. I spent over 15 years working in secondary schools. I absolutely love my job. I love being a school teacher. However, for me, I ended up living paycheck to paycheck, month to month. It was horrible. I was broke, busted, and disgusted. Can anyone relate to the feeling of living paycheck to paycheck? If you can pop a number 1 in the chat box, if you can relate to that feeling of living paycheck to paycheck. You know, for me, it felt like I was living the very definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting a different outcome. I can see lots of ones coming through. Again, a lot of you have still got your settings on panelists, so a lot of the ones are just coming through to us panelists. But I can see Callum's put a comment in the chat box. Yes, I can. Nearly homeless. Wow, you know, my heart goes out to you. You know, and we're talking about people who are professionals here. We're talking about people who are nurses, people who are, you know, teachers. You know, we know that the cost of living right now is sky high. And that's why I'm so, you know, excited to do this presentation, because like I said, this information is going to change a lot of situations. But living paycheck to paycheck is no fun. I got to a point where I said enough is enough. You see, when my daughter was born, I said, that's it now. I need to make a change. You see, nothing changes unless something changes. For things to change, something has to change. So I decided right there and then on the hospital ward with my newborn in my arms that I wanted to give, you know, my kids a better life. And I decided to make a change. And the first action that I took was to read the book. I call it the book because people that know the book know how powerful it is. And it's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And if you haven't already read this book, honestly, it's a game changer. It's what the rich teach their kids about money that the poor and middle class do not. And in a nutshell, guys, honestly, I could do a whole presentation on the book. But in a nutshell, what it taught me was the power of residual and passive income. You see, we're so used to working and grinding for money that we forget that you can actually enjoy money passively. In other words, making money whilst you're sleeping. Warren Buffett said it best. Warren Buffett, one of the richest billionaires in the world, he said, unless we find ways to make money whilst we are sleeping, we will continue to work for money until the very day that we die. You know, it's so important. It's also very important that we do not rely on a single source of income, that we make, investments to have multiple sources of income. So that is the main aim of our organization, the Wealth Club. It's to ensure that you have passive income and that you have multiple sources of residual passive income. So now, I'm no longer that broke school teacher. Through platforms like the one you're about to hear from today, I've been, made completely financially free. I no longer, have to rely on a 9-to-5. I'm an international speaker, so I speak around the world, teaching people how to become financially free. Not just the theory, not just the mindset, but giving people real practical solutions, like the solution that you're about to hear from today, where you can enjoy cash flow. I'm just back from a worldwide tour. We've been around the world. I can see people on the call like Shelly that joined us in some of the locations. But this world tour was about worldwide impact, and you can see the flags on the left-hand side of the countries that we visited. And as I mentioned, guys, this presentation is all about cash flow. Cash flow for you, cash flow for your business, cash flow for your household. I'm so proud, happy, and excited at the amount of lives we have changed through this platform. And I'm looking forward to hearing the testimonies later in this presentation. So I give you and I present to you PLC Ultima, Platinum Coin Ultima, a phenomenal organization and a fantastic opportunity to generate cash flow for your household or your business. Guys, what we're talking about here is an innovative blockchain project. This organization is not a newbie. They've been around for 6 years plus. In fact, PLC is one of the oldest blockchain projects or blockchain companies in the entire world. It's very, very well respected. We have over 1.5 million users on our platform. And that says a lot about the organization. We have 11 projects under our belts, so huge amounts of experience. We have 4 official offices around the world. Myself and many of the team, some are on this call, we have visited the headquarters in Dubai. We also have regular international conventions. You know, many of us on this call right now, we were at the Berlin convention just a couple of months ago. Some of us are going to Budapest next week for an event, and we're very excited because this company is really, really going places and it's helping so many people to become completely financially free or just to enjoy some extra cash flow. It's very, 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 very powerful. And I say all of this so that you understand the credibility that the company has. You know, we've got an active CEO. We've got real physical presence around the world. You know, when you go to our conventions, you see, you know, hundreds of happy and excited people. And I'll show you a snippet from one of the conventions in just a second. If you look at your screen now, you can see the CEO, the man in command, Alex Reinhard, the founder and CEO of the company. If you look at your screen, you will see all of the publications that Alex is featured in. He's named as one of the top 10 most prominent figures in the cryptocurrency world. Look at your screen, guys. You can see Forbes magazine, Crunchbase, Entrepreneur magazine, just to name a few, Yahoo Finance. And if you look at the bottom of your screen, you can see the different shows and conventions that Alex is featured or where he's been asked to speak. He's one of those speakers that's normally first on the list when people are looking for blockchain speakers. He is regarded as an absolute genius. Here's a picture of myself and Alex recently. This was a couple of months ago at his birthday party, actually. It was a very small affair for his close leaders around the world, and a good time was had by all. And I'll show you this picture just so that you know that he's a real person, that we've met him, and you'll have opportunities to hear from him daily. He does daily updates with the whole organization. So I just want to play for you, maybe 30 seconds from my most recent convention. Again, just for your belief system, so that you understand that this is real, with real people who are, excited for their futures. Let me go ahead and just play that for you right now. I'm not sure whether you spotted me in the crowd there. We were there. It was I get goosebumps, watching that back. Absolutely phenomenal. And when you look at the crowd, we're not talking about kids. Kids happy and excited because they've heard from a speaker. You can see grown men and women who are genuinely excited. Why? Because of the impact that this is having on their finances. So what I want to do now, guys, is I want to give you the overview as to how this works. and then I'm going to zoom out, give you the big picture, and then we're going to zoom back in again. It seems to work, so we're just going to go with that. So what we are doing is creating cash flow through a technology called minting. Now, minting is a new innovation that was actually invented by Alex himself. Some of you have probably heard of mining. I'll go into that later. But what we are doing, in a nutshell, remember I'm giving you the overview, is we are producing new coins every single month using an app on a smartphone. This is groundbreaking. So this is what happened. And I'm going to use an analogy for this one. Maybe it's the school teacher in me, but analogies really help to understand things. And I'm going to use the analogy of a farm. You know, if we wanted to grow, grow money or grow crops, whatever it is that we're growing, we would obviously go and buy some land, the farm, we'd buy the farm, and then we'd go and buy some seeds. We will plant the seeds into the farm, and then we, water it. And then every, so often we look forward to a harvest. So it's very similar. But what we are doing is we are planting and growing new crypto coins. And these coins have value. And I'm going to show you how this translates to real fiat money, where you can pay your bills, buy stuff, where you can, have your direct debits covered. It's phenomenal. So what you are doing is you are purchasing a farm. Now, in our world, a farm is just a contract. It's a piece of software that you're buying on your phone. And then once you've got your farm, you then obviously need, seeds to put in the farm. So in this analogy, the seeds are coin. So you're going to purchase some of our coin, some of the PLCU Ultima coin. It's up to you how much you purchase. And then you are going to plant those coins into the farm, into the land. Now, what you're actually doing is you are freezing those coins into your farm. You're freezing it. By freezing it, you're allowing the blockchain to make use of those coins. So as a thank you for freezing your coins in your farm, two things are going to happen. Number one is in 12 months' time, those coins will be given back to you. So if you went and purchased, say, one coin, one of our coins, or a fraction, you can purchase a fraction of our coin. Right now, our coin is around $12,000. Okay, so if you used to buy a whole coin for $12,000, you've got a whole coin. In 12 months' time, you will get that coin back. If you just went for a fraction of a coin, you can absolutely do that as well. You don't have to buy a whole coin. 12 months' time, you get that coin back. Okay, so that in itself is not a bad strategy. You're buying a coin, you freeze it, 12 months' time, you get your coin back. And with everything I'm about to share with you, the chances are the coin is going to be way higher than when you came in. But that's not the best part. The best part is that every 30 days, you are going to be rewarded with new coins. This is where the minting comes in. So let's say you freeze 2 coins. Every 30 days, you're going to be rewarded with 1 whole coin. So in other words, you are going to receive approximately 50% of the value that you froze. So again, if you froze 1 coin, in 12 months' time, you get that 1 coin back. But every 30 days for 12 months, you are going to receive half a coin. So again, current price is 12K for a coin. So in that example, every single month, you'll be roughly getting half a coin, so 6K, every month, every 30 days for 12 months, which is phenomenal. So in other words, you are approximately 6xing your capital, making approximately 50% a month. Now, that's not the best part. I gave you that example based on the coin price staying the same. What if the coin price goes up? Remember, you're rewarded with coins. 50% of what you froze. You freeze 4 coins, you're getting 2 every month for 12 months. If the coin price goes up, let's say it doubles, which it has done before. Oh, by the way, from the time I think they did the presentation last week to now, the coin price has doubled. So I'm not just saying it because it sounds great, right? This is what happens. So in a month, it's not unnatural for your coin price to double, and then you're not receiving 50%. Oh, you're getting 100% in that first month. It's phenomenal. Of course, price could go the other way, but based on what I'm going to go through today, you're going to see why price overall should be going in a forward direction. But here's the magic number I want you to write down. You see, for you to come out of this project in negative equity, it would mean that the coin price would have to reduce 75% for the 12 months minimum for you not to have broken even. Do you understand? Because if you think about it, not only are you getting the coin back, but you're also getting payouts 12 times every 30 days. So because of all of that, it takes a drastic decline in the price for you not to have broken even. Just put a number 2 in the chat box if that's making sense so far. If that's making sense so far, just put a number 2 in the chat box. I remember the first time I heard this information, it took me a few times for it to sink in. That's fine. Don't be too hard on yourself if you haven't understood it straight away. This may be your first exposure. It takes some time. I can see lots of 2s coming through privately to the panelists, and that's absolutely fine. But if you can change your settings as well, that will be even better. So guys, just to summarize, we are buying some coins on an exchange. We are buying an Ultima minter. If you hear me say the word minter, then I mean farm or a contract. It's all the same thing. The minter is your farm. It's where you're freezing the coins. And then you're going to download 2 apps and away you go. Welcome to the world of cash flow. And that's why we are here. You've been invited here by someone, that you trust, someone that you may have a really good connection with. So by all means, speak to them about their experience and their journey as well. So guys, let's just zoom out real quick and let's just have a whistle-stop tour of the history and the future of money. Money started off as being just the bartering system. There was no, money how we know it right now. It was an exchange system, bartering. So a farmer would obviously have cattle, and let's say they needed some wood. They would, barter and negotiate maybe, 2 pigs for a pile of wood, for example, okay? And you can draw, the conclusions as to the problems that would come. How do you give change? If you're giving someone a pig, how do you give change? Do you cut up the pig? It was crazy, but it was a means of exchange back then. And then the Chinese invented coins, not as we know them now. These were big, cumbersome things. And then eventually we had banknotes, which could be folded and put in our pockets. Then checkbooks. Who remembers checkbooks? I've not seen one for a very, very long time. But what really changed the game was plastic cards, debit cards. Now we have smart chip cards, online banking. We no longer need to go to the branch anymore. And then mobile payment. I've just come back from a worldwide tour where I've been able to just use my mobile Apple Pay to pay for things. It's been phenomenal. But for me, the biggest transition in the modern era in terms of money and the future of money is digital currencies, otherwise known as cryptocurrency. Guys, if you don't already know, this is the future. The reason why cryptocurrency is so popular is because it's decentralized. It's peer-to-peer finance. Right now, if I send money to Obi, I've just seen Obi in the chat. If I send money to Obi right now, online using online banking, it obviously involves the 2 banks. When you're paying for something in a shop, if you knew the journey that your money is taking, I know it looks very fast on the screen, on the terminal, it will say, connecting, authorized. It's gone through so many institutions. So what does that mean? Well, one, it slows things down, not drastically, but also there's so many entities, so many groups that are involved in this transaction that there are fees going left, right, and center to cater for everybody. So when crypto came along, it was decentralized. It was peer-to-peer. There is no middle person. There is no government or financial institution that's controlling things. The Fed Reserve, the Bank of England have no impact or input into this at all. And that's why people like it, because it's made by the people, for the people, complete transparency. But the reality is this: cryptocurrency has allowed for creative money-making opportunities outside of what we already know. We already know that you can, buy crypto, hold it, hope it goes up, and potentially make a lot of money. Of course, you can lose money as well. People, cryptocurrencies create so many millionaires, multi-millionaires, but of course there've been casualties. But what I really love are projects like this that utilize cryptocurrency in such a way that it puts the onus more on, winning than there's still an element of speculation, of course, but, it's designed for the average person to win big. This project is absolutely phenomenal. So guys, just so that you know, when it comes to companies launching coins, typically this is what happens when a company launches a coin. A company will create a coin, and there'll be a white paper, and there'll be all kinds of use of the coin, and or alleged use. And then the coin, these coins are normally known as meme coins. They are released to the community. Now, once the coins are released to the community, people are buying them, and everybody is waiting for the big moment when they can cash in. And that big moment comes when the coin matures, has enough traction, and ends up on an exchange. You see, 99.9% of coins, they don't start off on an exchange. They start off in murky places. I won't mention the sites, but they have to mature. And then eventually they will be recognized and placed on a credible exchange. When that happens, what do you think happens to the price? It goes through the roof. Now you're attracting all kinds of investors and the price skyrockets. It's at that moment that many of the investors believe that is the best the price is ever going to do. So what do you think they're going to do? They sell. They sell in their droves. And that causes the price to crash and burn. These kind of things are known as rug pulls, where people are just pumping and dumping. It's very, very sinister, and it leaves people, in very bad situations. But look what happened with our coin. You see, remember what I said at the beginning. This company has 6 years experience and 11 projects under its belt. So when we launched PLCU, we weren't a baby company with a baby coin. We were already recognized. Alex is regarded as a genius in this space. So what he was able to do was launch the coin already on an exchange. So when PLCU was launched, we launched on Coinsbit Exchange. So there was no waiting for this magical moment of the coin hitting an exchange, because it was already on an exchange. The only thing that we had to look forward to was it being on more exchanges, which is what's happened. So guess what happens? This coin was launched to a ready-made community of just under 1 million people, because we already had a community from the other projects. What do you think happens when you launch a coin to a dedicated, loyal community / fan base, who understand the project, that believe in the company, the vision, and the CEO, and there was a limited supply? The coin price went through the roof and kept rising and rising and rising. Guys, look at your screen. We launched this coin on the 6th of December. I was introduced to the project by a good friend of mine, Philip Poku, who's on the call. And, we were able to join this in December, which is great. Guys, have a look at your screen right now. I really want you to digest this. You see, this coin launched at 10 cents a coin. 10 cents a coin back on the 6th of December. Within a very short time frame, I think it was 2 weeks or so, the coin rose from 10 cents a coin to $10,000 a coin. Guys, that is completely unheard of. Do you know how long it took Bitcoin to hit 10K? We're talking years upon years. But here we have a coin doing it in 2 weeks. Why? Because of the things I already explained, and things I'm going to explain in a minute as well. This was phenomenal. It really took the crypto world by storm. A 10 million% growth in 2 weeks, incredible. By the 1st of January, coin price was $15,000 a coin. By the 1st of February, the coin price is $20,000 a coin. That's a 20 million% uptake in increase. Phenomenal. Guys, you are not seeing things. Do not adjust your sets. If you look at your screen, you will see that on 2 occasions, it's not well represented on that graph, but on 2 occasions, coin price actually hit over $100,000 a coin. Phenomenal. Come and see people happy and excited. Imagine your monthly payouts. You know, you got in when it was, I don't know, a few thousand, and then it goes to 6 figures. You are laughing. That's absolutely phenomenal. So that's the story of the coin. Obviously, you may have heard of the, you know, there was a very well-known crypto downturn recently. The coin, you know, got caught up in that, and it did drop in price, which is amazing news for everyone on this call who is a newbie. Because with everything I'm about to explain to you now, you guys are well positioned to win big. So right now, the coin price is on its way back to 100,000. The blueprint and the strategy has been made clear. I'm going to share it with you on this call. So those of you that are coming in today, you are going to reap the rewards of this steady increase. So just in the last 7 days, the coin price has doubled, and it's heading straight back to 100K plus and more. So why is this? Well, it's because of our growth strategy. Because of our growth strategy, we have a very clear strategy for ensuring the coin, you know, grows. The first part of the strategy is obviously the exchanges. You see, exchanges like stock exchanges, this is where you can buy the coin. The more exchanges that we're on, the more popular the coin, the more people are attracted to the coin. So it makes sense to be on more exchanges. What makes even more sense is being on the popular exchanges. We are about, when I say we're about to, I'm talking about the 1st of September, we are going to be listed on exchanges like Binance. Now, this is phenomenal, by the way. For those of you new to the space, it may not mean much. But being on Binance, that is the #1 crypto exchange in the world. That's huge. What do you think is going to happen to the coin price when that happens? Of course, naturally, it's going to shoot up. So again, you guys are well positioned to really take advantage of that. If you look at your screen, you will see that we are on information analysis websites like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, Nomics. These are the best in the world for coin analysis. And to even be featured on those websites is an honor and something that's not taken lightly. It takes some coins years to be featured. But again, because of the credibility of the company, we are fast-tracked. So another part of the strategy is the limited supply. You see, coins that have a limit in the supply do very well because it creates scarcity. You see, even with Bitcoin, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. With PLCU, we launched with 11,000. We launched with less than that, but we proceeded with 11 million coins. But this is reducing daily. We like to keep the supply very, very, very small. That's part of the growth strategy. That increases the price. You know, economics 101, supply and demand. So one other thing that we do in order to keep the price nice and high is we burn tokens. We burn the coin. You see, by burning the coin, we're reducing the supply, thus increasing the demand. So the price goes up. We burn 1% of coin per transaction. It's a very transparent system. If you want to scan the QR code, it will take you to the wallet where you can see the coins being burned. And again, it's a very clever strategy. Long-term strategy-wise, we are about to launch several things, as well as things that are already in existence. So first of all, there's crypto trading. The more platforms that we are released onto, the more trading of our coin that takes place. And the more people are trading the PLCU coin against the dollar, for example, the more liquidity there is for the coin and the more demand that there is as well. We are about to roll out a real estate program that I'll tell you about. We have a shopping and crowdfunding platform, and we have our very own MasterCard. Guys, let me just take a moment to really acknowledge what Alex has done here. We have our own card. It's a MasterCard. So a lot of people say, well, where can you use this PLCU coin? Well, you can actually use it in a lot of places. But the fact that you can load PLCU coin directly onto your MasterCard is a game changer. You see, most cryptocurrencies, you can't load the coin or token directly onto a card. You have to convert it to one of the big three, like Ethereum, Litecoin, or Bitcoin. But we are one of the only companies that MasterCard have allowed for the coin to go direct. So when you get your payouts every 30 days, if you want to, you can load them onto your MasterCard and go shopping, buy stuff. You know, it's phenomenal. You know, I use this a lot. So that's the PLCU card. Where can you use it? You can use it anywhere where you see the PLCU logo. You can also, if you want to, convert your PLCU into fiat money and put that into your bank account. You have that option as well. You don't have to use the card. So as I mentioned, we're about to release a car, real estate, and luxury watch program. This is where you can purchase these items, including real estate, up to half price, 50% cashback. It's a phenomenal program, and it's being released not just to our members, but to the general public as well. The general public are going to have the opportunity to purchase cars, real estate, and luxury watches with 50% cashback if they pay with PLCU coin. What do you think is going to happen to the coin when that is rolled out internationally? The price is going to go through the roof. We have a crowdfunding platform. And if you look at your screen, you can see other uses of the coin, such as vending machines, the POS, the point of sale terminals in stores, online stores, marketplaces, to name but a few, including ATMs as well. So guys, as I wrap up, I remind you that minting beats mining. You know, we're used to hearing about mining for crypto. Mining for crypto is very expensive. It takes big, massive supercomputers that take up lots of space and use lots of energy. That's actually quite harmful to the environment, unless, of course, they're using solar panel energy. But most farms do not. And a lot of people, you know, really frown on farming for crypto because of what I've just mentioned. So the fact that Alex has invented minting, where you can produce coins without harming the environment using your smartphone, is a game changer. So let me just run through the analogy one last time. You are minting coins every single month. If you understand this, you're going to understand the whole concept. What you are going to do is you are going to purchase a farm. Now, the cost of your farm varies depending on how big you want your farm. Just like if you was to go and buy land, you might buy a little bit of land, you might buy a big bit of land, depending on, you know, your belief system, depending on your pocket, you know, how much you want to spend and so forth. Depending on how big the farm is, depends on the maximum you can freeze in that farm. So a bigger farm, you can freeze more and make more money. So now you've got your farm, you're going to purchase your farm, and the cost of your farm, you just have to write that off. I'm going to show you how much it costs for the farms, but you just have to, you know, offset that against your profits. But what you will do is purchase coins to freeze in your farm. Now, when you do that, those coins that you freeze will return to you in 12 months. So that's not bad, is it? You're getting your coins back in 12 months, and it, you know, should have increased in value. But every 30 days, as a thank you for freezing the coin, you are going to receive approximately 50% of what you froze every single month. So if you froze one whole coin, then every month you're going to receive half a coin every 30 days for 12 months. Truly, truly phenomenal. We'll take questions at the end, but I also want you to know that you can have multiple contracts. There are people in the team, including myself, that have contracts throughout the month because we're impatient. We haven't got time to wait 30 days to get our cash flow, get our payouts. So we have contracts running throughout the month. My colleague, Natasha Carpenter, you know, she's a single mum of 2 kids. And through this system, you know, when she was on maternity leave, she was able to get into this and, you know, have, I think, over 40 contracts. She's got over 40 contracts. It's like a payday every day, sometimes twice a day. It's phenomenal. So can you imagine that cash flow? I'm not even sure where she is around the world right now. Maybe someone can let me know. Where is Tasha in the world right now? Because now she just jet sets, you know, at will, because she has that cash flow to live the life that she's in Trinidad right now. You know, I can't keep up with this lady. And then of course next week I'm sure that she will be in Budapest for the event. So, you know, that's the kind of life some of our members are living, you know, because of the cash flow that this brings. And I just want you to make a note of that. Multiple contracts. You can set yourself up to have wins throughout the month. So guys, as we close, I want you to know that time is of the essence. Right now, you can enjoy a 6.7 speed and volume. And what I mean by that is, you know, you are going to more than 6x over the 12 months. You're given a very generous multiplier, which will decrease. So as you can see on this chart, it does go down. So it's best to, you know, come on board as soon as possible, lock in your 6.7%, and then you have that for the remainder of your contract. Now, take a picture of this slide, guys. You don't even realize how good you've got it. And this is going to sound like a sales pitch, but I promise you it's not. Alex recently, as a goodwill gesture, he doubled the max load. So the amount that you could freeze. When I did this presentation, I just got back from Orlando, Florida. I took the kids to Disneyland. But just before that, I did a presentation. It was half this. The max load was half of what I'm going to go through with you now. Okay, let's go through a couple of examples. Then I'm going to show you a calculator that's going to make your life so much easier. So let's look through this one here. The medium farm. Can you see the medium farm? So the medium farm will cost 5,500 euros. Now, again, you know, you just have to, that's just a business cost. You know, look at this like you're starting a business. When you start a business, oh, wow. I just seen a message come through 30 minutes ago. It was announced that he's keeping the max load for another 3 days as a gift. I didn't even know that. I was watching the first half of the Liverpool game, so I definitely missed that one. An amazing update, incredible. But time is still of the essence. So, the cost of your farm, just the business cost. Just like if you're starting a business and you had to purchase furniture and so forth, it's just one of those costs you have to swallow. So cost of your farm, you can see the cheapest is the light farm, 110 euros. But let's look at this medium one, 5,500. And the maximum that you can freeze in that farm is 1 whole coin. You don't have to do the maximum. You can buy a farm and only freeze a little bit. But the maximum you can freeze is given to you for each farm. So the maximum there is 1 whole coin. And then what you can see is that every 30 days, you are getting, you know, roughly 50% of what you froze. So if 1 whole coin right now is worth 12K, then every month, if the coin price stays the same, you're going to receive 6K's worth of coins. If the coin price has doubled or it's gone up, then it will reflect. So if it's doubled, then you're going to make 12K every month, which is phenomenal. If you look at the light farm, the max load is 0.02. So all you have to do is times 0.02 by the current price, which is roughly about $12,000, and that will give you the max load. So hopefully that makes sense. So there's 2 main costs, the cost of your farm and the cost to fill the farm. Remember, you get your coin back in 12 months and you make 50% every month. So let's have a look at this, guys. I believe that you can see my screen right now. If you can't see my screen, then just shout at me by putting a number 1 in the chat box. But I believe that you can. So let's have a look at this example right here. Imagine, so this is the calculator that you'll find on one of the apps. If you go to your app store and search PLCU, then 2 apps will come up. And one of them has this calculator. So budget, say your budget was 1,000 euros. So I put in 1,000 and it works everything out for me. It's saying that I can get a light farm for 110 euros and I could fill it to the maximum, which is 354. So the maximum would be 244. So I could freeze 244. So in other words, if you look here, freezing 0.02, which given the current price, can you see the current price is here, 12,199. So 0.02 times 12,199 will be 244. So I'm going to freeze 244 worth of coin into my farm. So in total, I've spent 354. But remember, I wanted to spend $1,000, right? So I can come back to the license and I can say, yeah, well, you know what? Let me go up one to the starter farm. So the starter farm is allowing me to come in at 550, freeze 244. But if I use this slider, I can go all the way up to it hits my $1,000. Can you see where it says total? Can you see where it's about to hit $1,000 now? So $1,000 was my budget. There we go. I've done my budget. That's my $1,000 right there. So that means that I now have 550 on my farm, 450 on the coin, and I've spent my 1,000. Can you see that there's more in terms of the max load? But I just can't do that because it's outside of my budget, for example. But if I did go for the max load, it would cost 1,769. Okay, so you can play around with that calculator. That's my presentation. Okay, so guys, it pays to be quick, as I already mentioned. And the source of your income is actually already in your pocket. It's already in your pocket, guys. You know, you just have to download 2 apps. So I want you to know that there are 2 sides to this business. There's a passive side that we've just gone through, very passive. You set up your farm, it's on your phone. You know, you can see how much money you're going to make every 30 days. You cash it in, you put it on your card, you turn it into fiat money, put it in your bank account. Happy, happy days. There is another side to this business. For those of you on this call who are entrepreneurial, I want you to know we have a system and a program that will blow you away. We are looking for partners, people that can really help us take this company to the next level. You know, we've created a lot of multi-6-figure income earners, a lot of multi-7-figure income earners. Millionaires have been created from this platform, from the passive and the active side as well. So if you do want to know more about the entrepreneurial side, then reach back to the person who invited you and they can either connect you with me or they can send you all of the information that you need. So that being said, guys, that is it for the presentation. We are going to have a couple of testimonies and I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask questions. You can pop your question in the Q&A section. I just answered that one. Or you can raise your hand and you can come on and speak your question. We've got record numbers on the Zoom today, which is fantastic. So guys, that is the presentation and I hope you got value. You see, nothing changes if nothing changes. If you're on this call because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then I want you to know that this platform genuinely can change your situation. You don't have to be great to get started, but you do need to start in order to be great. Your current situation doesn't have to be your final destination. Everything changes right now. Guys, honestly, take some form of action after this call, whether that's to speak to the person who got you on the call and ask for their experience, whether you want to set up a private call with myself or one of the other top leaders, you know, whether you want to, you know, go online, do some research, do something, but take some form of action, but do not let this opportunity slip through your fingers. So that being said, guys, my name is Des Ame from the very top of the Canary Wharf Tower. And we look forward to seeing you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. So that being said, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop the recording. Those of you listening to this as a recording, know that the Q&A and the testimonies is probably going to be a separate link in the comment section of the YouTube video. If it's not there, then it's not there. Okay, so that being said, let me stop the recording.
Recording stopped.
And let me start a new one.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so that being said, guys, testimonies. If you can give a testimony, can you put a number 1 in the comment box for me right now if you are able to give a testimony? It doesn't matter if you're very, very experienced or very new. You know, your testimony can change someone's life. You know, it really, really can. And all you have to really talk about is, you know, your name, your background, how you got started with PLCU. Let us know how it's going, and that's pretty much it. You know, it's really simple and easy. So what I'm going to do now.
Unmute yourself, Kirsten.
There you go, talking to myself. I'm just going to stop it there. That was the presentation. The first time I saw that, it sparked a curiosity, and that curiosity, I'm so grateful, was enough to get on to David and say, and he said, yeah, set up a free account, and the rest is history. I don't even know, is that like 3 weeks ago, David?
I think so, and already you're smashing it, aren't you? You know,
we're smashing it. We're smashing it. It's, and I was going to say, this guy right here, David, we're part of a brilliant team with this guy, and you people on this call that have recently started, you'll know yourselves that he is a servant leader and is just there for all of us all of the time. So we're in a really, really good space, all of us, to be able to really make huge changes in not only our lives, but the lives of everybody around us. And I'm so flipping excited. So with that, has anyone got any questions for David? Just jump in, unmute yourselves. This is just a chat now. One bit shy.
I do.
Hi, Tara.
Hi. Hi,
morning.
David. If I wanted to join someone, like, you know, if they were interested in joining, what do I do? And is that part of the second thing, the community active part of the company?
Oh, okay, so initially you'd the person that invited you, you create your account. They'd give you their invite link, and then as Des said in the presentation, there is a couple of apps to install, and there is also an exchange actually to install. But again, I support with that. Kirsten supports with that. So, you know, I've done quite a few one-to-one calls now with people and help get them going and answer any questions.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome, Tara. Thank you. Anyone else got a question for our lovely Mr. David?
Yep, kia ora, David. It's David here. Hey, thank you for the opportunity. Just a question. Do the farms have an expiry date on them, or what
So
happens there?
So every farm purchase, as you saw, like the little slide, so once you purchase that, it will last for 12 months. So, for example, where Des showed the calculator, if your budget was 1,000 or 2,000, you can actually use the calculator to determine sort of where you're at, whether it's a starter farm, basic farm, and how much of that farm you can fill. But the beauty of this as well, which Des didn't go into, but I can quickly elaborate, is even if your farm's half full, in 3 to 4, 5 months, you can then fill that if you're then in a better position to fill it. And then that that transaction where you fill it and top it up, that in itself will run for 12 months. So it is very flexible. You don't have to go, you know, all guns blazing, all in, you know, everything you can to start with. You can start with what you're comfortable with and sort of work your way up and build up.
Can you top it up more than so say it's you filled it,
Yeah.
and then your one of the smart contracts have expired? Can you then top it up again, so then it's just like rotating on and on? Is that what that
no,
means?
once it's full, it is full, and then payments obviously come back to you, and then with those payments you can purchase another farm, which will increase your max load for you to then go on and fill it with more.
But not the PLCU farms specifically, because they're going to come to an end. Is that right?
Yes, if it's after September, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So would that mean any new people we're introducing tonight or whenever, it will be best that they purchase a farm before the 31st or wait for September?
To be honest, the owner himself actually spoke last night on a call. It is still best to, yes, come in now and make use of this, because when it's gone, it is gone. There's no more minting of PLCU. And what will happen, again, Des didn't quite touch on it because he doesn't have all the time in the world to go through everything. But what's going to happen is the PLCUX coin is coming out, but you have to buy PLCU to then get PLCUX. So what's happening with PLCU is that Alex is then taking that and he's throwing it and burning it, which means less supply, higher demand. So the coin price is only going to shoot up. So that is the strategy around the farming, which is actually, I think, really exciting because you can see the way that's going to go. So absolutely come in on the PLCU right now, because again, when it's gone, it is gone. But yeah, PLCUX will still be a cracking project. But for me, PLCU is the sole heartbeat of the project.
Yeah, because you've got to, like you said, you've got to use PLCU to even buy PLCUX. Yeah, I was getting all fluffed up with the letters.
Getting wrong.
Yeah, exciting.
Honestly, everyone, I totally appreciate it. It is quite a bit to take in. You've just watched a 45-minute presentation. Some of you for the first time. I will try and answer your questions the best you can, but to be honest, even if it takes another presentation and I'll jump on a one-to-one or something, you know, and we'll help you out.
Thank you. I think most of us are used to rewatching a presentation to get our heads around it.
Can I just come in on that, David?
Hold on, we've got David. I think David Mullier got another question.
Sorry, Paul.
Go on. No, David. Go on, David. You go ahead.
David, just how do we build our communities if PLC and the farms aren't available? Is that we wait for the X PLC X, do we?
No, absolutely not. You can come in, and what will happen when you sign up is you'll on your dashboard have your own invite link, and you can share the project away, share the presentation that you've just watched. You know, as you guys more than likely know, allowing the presentation to show the overview does better in terms of duplication than it does for the human. Because if I was to go out and talk to someone next door or across the street, the chances are it'll get diluted eventually and I'll start to change my words. Whereas at least the presentation is nice and set and it gets to the point. But yeah, honestly, if you can get going. Honestly, the best time to start is today.
Oh yeah, these guys are going. They're already in and cracking it.
Oh, brilliant. Well, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Did you want to say something, Paul?
Yeah, please. Yeah. Just really to reiterate what's been said. I mean, there are currently 12. There are basically 15 hours left to bring anybody in on the offer. The times 2 offer. So if you have got anybody, just the key is to get them in and just purchase the farm and then worry about filling the farm later. But I just wanted to teach the principle of crypto that some of you might not be aware of. When Bitcoin first came out, it was about creating a currency. And in all honesty, Bitcoin has failed in becoming a currency. It's become an asset. Whereas this project and our other project, they're both based on minting and mining, which is the creation of the coin. And by burning them, you create the demand and the value and you create the currency. So what you're seeing in this PLCU platform is the transition of a new currency that you're going to be able to use and spend on a daily basis, whereas Bitcoin, that's not doing that anymore. It's just an asset now. So this is really exciting times. And yeah, yesterday was the time to start it. Today is a good time and tomorrow will be too late. For the bonus, but will still be great going forward for anybody who's prepared to build. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. I was just going to say in response to David, like he said, should we build the community now or should we wait for the X to come in? Absolutely start building it now, because the ones that are lucky enough to be introduced to this in this last couple of weeks and can get in and purchase those PLCU farms, and then they'll be introduced to the next project. Like, now is a brilliant time for them to come in.
And also importantly, again, if you come in, you've got that couple of week window to learn a bit more about the project and actually get your head around what's coming in September. So, definitely get started.
Yeah.
I saw on the slides that this is the 6th project. Can you tell us anything about the previous projects?
I think it was 11.
Well, I came in April, so I don't actually have the greatest knowledge on, for example, a couple of years ago. What I do know is obviously the PLCU coin launched in December of 2021. And as you saw on the slide, it went from 10 cents up to like 10,000 within a couple of weeks. So, I saw
Why didn't you introduce us then, David? Come on, where were we?
I know.
Talk to somebody else's people back then, Trace, remember?
I don't think I'd have a head on my shoulders if I did that. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously I was introduced in April, and I didn't personally build till May, early June, purely because I wanted to educate myself first and then get going. But in all honesty, yes, I do wish that I just built in April. But there we go. I mean, there's no point wishing. We can only change what's now, and we're all here because we're all here now,
Exactly.
Yeah, but here's the key, guys. I had the chance to go into Bitcoin when it was $400, and I would have been worth 76 million now. So I missed that boat. We've missed this boat at the beginning, but we're in the right.
This one,
we just caught it on another port.
We did.
What you've done now, and again, just for those of you who are new to crypto, the time to buy crypto is when it's at the bottom, not when it's at the top.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
Now it's at the bottom as far as it can go right now. So buying it now, you're going to ride it up. So that's where your profits is. That's where it's going to be great value.
And I just want to say too, the other projects and stuff, Tracy, if you go in and Google PLCU or Google Alex Reinhardt, there's all sorts of stuff there about how brilliant he is. All sorts of stuff. And you could just look through it for hours and hours and hours.
He was even in Forbes magazine, actually. He was in one of the top 10 to watch. So, very credible.
And I was going to say, even that Des Amy that just did that presentation, like that guy is a financial guy. He knows his stuff, and he's here backing it. By the way, he is in Hyper too. He was a V5 in Hyper. So, and if you go on to Des Amy's website, he's got some kind of academy.
Yeah,
he's got about 4 or 5 projects that he does. One of them is this, one of them was Hyper, one of them is like, there's a couple more, and a couple of them are ones that I haven't got to look at yet, but I will be looking at. And then I see that he's doing those as well. That I just think, definitely having a look now, because he knows his stuff. He's a financial guy.
So when you have, sorry, I'm really just new. So I have a little bit, I purchased a farm, I have some euro left. I need to get that out into coins, but exchange it for PLCU to put in the farm.
Yep.
That's absolutely correct, yeah. And to top your farm up, you go into your Ultima Farm app, the blue one, and on the bottom right icon will be like a settings icon, that we're all familiar with. And then there'll be a little option to top up farm. There'll be an address.
See, I didn't even know that. I've been taking them to the website. This is all stuff that we're all learning at the same time.
I will say, absolutely. Cool. I've got a Samsung device and an iPhone. The apps are laid out differently.
You've got a what? Sorry, what did you say? You got a
Samsung.
What? Oh,
a dinosaur phone.
I'm not iPhone, am I yet? But anyway, they're both slightly different in how they work. So I'm not that clued up on the iPhone. Just for the record.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll forgive you.
We'll forgive you.
Just telling you, you missed the.
Thanks very much.
Then
You can't have it all, mate, but you can aim for it.
Exactly.
if you want to.
Right.
Sorry, I can't multitask. I can only.
Oh, yep. Cog Top Up Farm. Easy
Yeah.
peasy.
And so that will give you your address, your deposit address for.
Yep.
Right.
All there. Oh, sorry. All there.
Right. I'm just going to post this link again in the chat for Anne because she missed the presentation. There.
Yeah, and just a heads up, I have personally cleared my diary today for anyone that does need assistance. So please do ask away.
Awesome.
Yeah, me and you need to get on the call because I've got two people to sign up this morning.
No worries.
Yep. Beautiful.
I just want. Yeah, just before
And are we rise by lifting others farms?
Oh, that's right.
I like gifting farms, so that's different.
But here's the key, guys. I just want to quickly share because I know we've run over. Come on.
Can I mute her?
Trying something new?
Mute her and remove spotlight? No.
Oh, guys, you might start feeling sorry for me now because this is what I have to put up with all the time.
Yeah,
I've got both of them. I can deal with them separately, but both together, they're like a double act.
wait till you're in the same room. Look out.
Yeah, God, wait till I get over there in October. That's going to be scary.
My suggestion here is if you are looking at buying farms, do it with David and Paul in the next 12, 14 hours. And if you've got people that you think will be interested in this, and it's like people, you don't even have to think they'll be interested, just tell them they need to have a look at it. They'll either be curious or not, but this is going to go off and it's fantastic. Like I should give my own testimonial for this because it's been insane from the very beginning. I've had loads of help whenever I've needed it. It wasn't that easy in the beginning for me because it's a lot of technical stuff, but it's only hard the first time. It's only hard the first time you do it, and then you get it. Okay, so I can't sing the praises of this highly enough. It's literally changed our world. My husband's sitting there. He's down at work again. He'd retired for a year, but now he's back at work just for a little window. Because these things, these projects, if you just go out of your comfort zone a little bit, you'll see that there's a big wide world of fortune to be made out there. We're in this crazy period in history where there's this massive transfer of wealth happening as we speak, and all we got to do is jump on the friggin' train. Seriously. Right, well, that's our call. We're going to do this again next Friday night. So if you've got people...
Oh, Yvonne's finally arrived.
Yeah, finally. Look at that. Blimey,
This have just gone.
I told you, bring them on the
David,
call.
David,
I
can I ask a question?
Totally. One more question.
Who's got a question?
Can I? Yeah. Sorry, David.
Come in.
Can you only buy PLCU on Coinbit?
So at the moment, there are a few exchanges, but I personally use Coinbit because my upline sort of said that's what she used. So do you know what? I've just stuck with Coinbit, to be honest. And it's an app that I know my way around, so I can obviously assist people that come in with it because I know that some exchanges are different layouts, and so I just try and duplicate what I know.
And when is it going to be listed on Binance? Is it September?
No, I think that's
start of January.
Yeah,
start of the year.
Out.
That'll be handy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because if it goes on Binance, it's going to go. Pew.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Once it hits Binance, it's going to go. Pew.
Yeah.
That and us and Binance are all good mates now, eh?
Oh, doing my head in the other day.
Yeah, you're not alone in that one. Well, that was an awesome call, guys. And like I said, even if you've got people interested and they sign up through the week, bring them onto this call, because it's a great place for newly signed up people to ask questions as well and go through it together. And yeah, it's just a good space. So we'll get it crack-a-lacking and get this room full.
Alrighty.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be saying that.
What was that, David?
I was just going to quickly say, of course, today, though, is the last day of the double max load offer that the owner kindly put on about 10 days or so ago.
Yeah.
So, for example, as you saw on Des's slide, the basic farm is around €1,100. Today, you're going to get 0.2 PLCU as a max load, so you can put more coin on there, whereas tomorrow, it'll be 0.1, so it's half. So it is important, if you are like more edging, yes, I want in, we'll try and get it done today, because, of course, we want you to get the best out of it.
Absolutely.
And just the example of that in closing would be, imagine going to the forecourt to buy a car, and the guy says, you can have this half price today, or you pay the full price tomorrow. Which one do you want?
But yeah, good analogy there, Paul.
Yeah.
So
getting two farms for the price of one.
Yeah,
it's an even simpler analogy. Yeah.
Awesome.
But our minds see things in pictures, so yeah, see it as you best see it. But yeah, 13 hours, well 12, yeah, 13 hours to go, guys.
Yep.
Do what you can.
Exciting stuff, guys. Great.
And just to let you know, I manifested last week that I wanted to go to Bucharest, and I'm going to Bucharest next week.
Is it Bucharest or Budapest?
Budapest.
Yeah, I was going to say Budapest, not Bucharest.
Yeah. Budapest.
Bucharest, you'll be alone.
Yeah, I'll be my own meeting.
Send us photos.
So there'll be loads of photos. There'll be I'll do some lives as well. Try and get a conversation with some of the top guys, particularly the owner.
Yeah.
And Des will be there. I'll get Des on a recording and make it all real. Show that these people do exist. They're not just on a Zoom, and they've got legs. Take it easy, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Love you and leave you and see you.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Thank you for your time.
Cheers, David. Take care, guys.
I've got a little warm and fuzzies. I feel like, oh, there's my pink. All right. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Forging links.
Forging links. Forging links, one person at a time.